Again, whenever I take trades, they're based off of a 15% stop loss, 15 to 20 points, 15 to 20%. 15 points would be right there. 20 points would be right there. So take that what you will. If you're planning on taking this entry at the open with me, if we're still here at the open, obviously we still have 13 minutes. We might very well just flush this before the open happens. I will be watching to see how price reacts at 960. Okay. So 960 is where I want to start to scale out of this trade a little bit, simply because that's a 4-hour level. We might encounter a little bit of support there. Remember that level was used yesterday. All right. So you just want to be careful with that. Because that might be a short-lived put trade. See, right there. I would be scaling out right now. This is where I would scale out of this trade. I would scale out of this puppy. If you want to put the stop loss at entry, feel free. The equivalent level was the pre-market low for QQQ, which was right up here. Obviously, it's going to change the pre-market low as it moves in the pre-market. Now that that's flushed that, if you've scaled out and you have your stop at entry, I would just target the next 4-hour level. That's all I would do for futures. Options, you cannot trade in the pre-market. It's okay. The only way I'm going to go long on QQQ or NQ today is a break of 25,010 to the upside or 608. Okay, really, it's going to be more. Yeah, there you go. Like 608 for calls. All right, that's where I'll go for NQ longs, QQQ calls. All right. All right, I'm going to leave this here up to you. Just keep an eye on it, whether you have your stop at entry, whether you're still in it, if you're going for more, whatever. Okay, Microsoft. I love the weakness here on Microsoft. Watching for a breakout for puts, 402.41, which is that pre-market low. It might do this in the pre-market. Same concept, though. If it gets to the open, it's still just as weak. What do you mean before you manage to get in? I don't know what that means. I would just be watching this for the weakness at the open. Even if it opens right here at 402.15, as long as it's showing that weakness at the open and there's a lot of sell side pressure, I'd be a big fan of that. The Microsoft weakness is definitely, it's definitely pretty strong. So Amazon, I like the divergence actually on Amazon. I would love to see this hold up. I don't really have a downside play. Okay, that break of the pre-market low could be pretty. It could also be super short-lived. This could start bouncing at 214. But I do like the upside move here on Amazon with the continued strength, especially if it can diverge from the market. I would be a big fan. Now, as I'm watching Amazon, I'd be looking for a breakout around the 217 area. Okay. Basically, if it can show some actual strength above 216.50, I think you're golden on Amazon. You can see it held up pretty well yesterday, right? Once it broke above, it held as a pretty strong support, dipped below it in the pre-market here. So that's what I'm saying. If it can recover there, that would be pretty solid play. So those are the only ones. I only have one direction setups on those. Tesla can go both sides here. You got a breakout of 401.7. That pre-market low is on watch for puts, or I'm inclined to take a breakout for calls if it can show strength at 402.80, that daily level. That's where we rejected yesterday off of that first trade. It rejected at this daily level. It's a strong level, guys. If we can get above this level, you'd be shocked. You'd be shocked at how far Tesla can move. It can move really, really, really well. All right. And then we got the contracts there as well. Meta is the other thing I have on watch here. Meta, I want to watch for weakness at 660.2 or a recovery breakout for where it is right now. 662.56. Now, a recovery play is a recovery play. So if we open up above, let's say we opened up here. Let's say we opened up at 664.48. I still like taking calls on the break of the pre-market high at 665 or even right at the open if the buying pressure is there on the order book, because of the whole premise that it just couldn't even slip this level in the pre-market. So as long as you see those orders coming in on the tape and it looks strong in terms of buying pressure, I'm a big fan of that basically open / pre-market high breakout on Meta. The main resistance level, as you can see, is 665. If this puppy can get above 665.80, it's going to take off. You can also use 665.80 as a break and retest setup as well. As you see, This is a perfect example of a break and retest. You don't want to take the breakout. It breaks out. It gets above. At some point, it comes back down and retests that level. And then on the retests on the way back up, you're getting into it. Again, a retest, not necessarily, it's not like the second it taps the level you're getting in, because you want to see if it slips the level. So if it slips it and then comes back up and reclaims it, that can still be, your criteria. Okay. So those are my setups for the morning. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and get my contracts ready. All right. So first things first is going to be Meta. 655 puts or 665 calls. Oh, I did the wrong calls. Hold on. Okay. Tesla, 405 calls are the 400 puts. Amazon, it's going to be the 220 calls. Where are you, Amazon? There you are. 220 calls. Microsoft, the 400 puts. And then QQQ, 609 calls or 606 puts. All right. And remember, if you get confused having a bunch of contracts on your watch list, or if you made it a separate watch list just for preloaded contracts, you can color code them. You don't have to be confused. All right, nice. Okay. All righty. And then news today, we got jobless claims, U.S. productivity, import price index minus fuel. That's all happening at 8:30. All of it. I was looking at AMD earlier. I would have the same sentiment on this as Microsoft. It's not as weak overall as Microsoft, but the pre-market is really pretty. My only concern is the exact area it's in. It's a support zone. Everything's on the watch list. I don't want to repeat myself, guys. Just look at the watch list. All right. That would have come back to your entry. Would have been 24 points. All right. So as this approaches 25,010 and 608, we have a tight range here in the pre-market that I want to utilize, mainly because of how much it's dropped in the pre-market. I am open-minded for both directions. I'm not trying to go into the pre-market saying I think it's going to dump or I think it's going to fly. I do expect a larger move, especially with the news. We're going to know a lot more in 3 minutes. 3 minutes, I can make a much better decision. Remember, anytime Tesla diverges from the market, that's a good thing too. So if we get, let's say we get QQQ calls, NQ longs out the gate at the open, and this thing just takes off. Let's say we fly like 80 points right away, and you see Tesla selling, that's a good thing. All right? That's a good thing. So don't view it from the perspective and be like, oh my gosh, I got to get out of my Tesla trade right now. The market's flying. Nope. Tesla can sell while NQ and QQQ push. It's happened a lot. All righty. So 24,963, right where the market bounced, is a 4-hour level. All right. The next 4-hour level is up there between 28 and 39. That's a zone. So if we get into calls, same concept. Tricky spot we're in. If we get into calls at 25,010, you want to be careful in this zone. If we blow through this zone, we're golden. We're golden. If we blow through it with no hesitation, you don't got to worry about a thing. Okay. Here's the deal. You got a minute and a half before the market opens here. Remember what I was talking about yesterday? Do not go crazy or on tilt or something and blow all your profits from this week on Thursday and Friday. Do not be that person. You should be looking at this point of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, tremendous winning trades across the board. You should be looking at it from a capital retention perspective, not how much money can I make perspective. I don't care if you're $600 away from your next payout. Do not force it in one day. Let the market come to you. Do not oversize just because you're feeling better or just because you're on a roll. Okay. That is not how we trade. That is how you take losses. That's how you take big losses. That's how you go on tilt. That's how you start to tune me out and take your own trades. And then when I'm sitting there going, wow, great winning trade, guys, you're like, how did I take 3 losses? What happened? All right. As of right now, I have calls loaded on QQQ, but I am ready to switch to shorts right away. All right. NVIDIA wants to break out to the downside too. There we go. QQQ calls. I'm in these guys. Entries at 25,008. 25,008 is my entry. Gonna let this try to take off from here. Taking my first trim right here, everybody. First trim on NQ, QQQ. That flew really quickly right there. 25,008 to 25,030. 25,008 to 25,030. I'm trying to draw this out. It's rejecting right at that level like I was talking about earlier. Remember that 4-hour level. So be cautious here. If you want to have a stop at entry, I'll leave that up to you, okay? Second trim right here. Second trim. Second trim, everybody. Beautiful, beautiful. We're flying here. This is 52 points. We've trimmed at 28 points. We've trimmed at 52 points. Now I'm shooting for 78 points. 53-point trade so far. 53-point trade so far. $75% out of the position here. Winning trade literally in the first 3 seconds. We love it, don't we? We love it. That's that key level. We can see a full rejection here. So if you want to take a full exit, I'll leave that up to you guys. Depends where you're at with your payout schedule and your drawdown and all that. Contracts have done backflips here. They've absolutely ripped to the upside. My fill on these contracts was sitting roughly at around $1.95 a contract. These things flew to $2.68 a contract. My stop loss is at entry, just FYI. Just being patient here. Oops. Let's see, target's 83. 77 is the start of that 4-hour level. All right, our next resistance spot is this area, okay? If we're going to see a pullback, it's going to be from up here. Again, you have the opportunity to basically be sitting here telling yourself you can take a full exit now for a really good net ROI, or you can risk some of that profits with me if you would like. I'll leave it up to you. I'll leave it up to you. I would trim here on Amazon. I would be trimming here on Amazon right now. I know I don't have it marked over there, but it's on my other chart. These contracts did really well also. You're at 100% right now on Amazon, actually, guys. This is 100%. Or it could be very close. You're 90 to 100% here on Amazon. So that would be the majority exit. It could definitely turn around there on Amazon. That is I'm going to draw that level out here in a second. Right here. All right. Remember, this is that spot we were concerned about. The next area we're concerned about for a possible rejection. Absolutely beautiful. If Tesla was selling, it would be a good thing. Oh, there's that next trim. Let's trim again up here, guys. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right, 78 points profit up here. Now we're shooting for 100. Again, I'm gonna reiterate this every single day for Paul and for Kevin. If you guys are going to rock your own stop losses, I will never fault you for that. You should use a stop loss, but also you can just stay in the trade with me, everybody. You can just stay in the trade with me. I cannot do anything more than what I'm doing right now. I want to help you guys. I feel like I did not do my job unless everybody is winning. I want everybody in here winning with me every single day. That is my purpose. So when you show up, please do your best to work with me. Please, please, if you show up and you're trying to take my trades, trust me. Stay with me. Stay with me. I'm risking my money. I'm risking my money. Don't fall victim to just, oh, I got wicked out. I totally understand practicing proper risk management, etc. But I'm also in the trade with you. That's why I say you can use me as a sounding board to see if you want to stay in the trade. All right, we're super close up here. If you don't want to wait an extra few points, I'm just going to trim now. I'm going to trim now, just in case this puppy starts to pull back. I'm not going to trim at 100 points because of that. If we hit 100, that's great. Boom, there's 100. There's 100. 100 points profit. Good job, everybody. Good job. For those of you that stick with the game plan and stay with me, I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of you guys, all right? You guys are crushing it. That's 100 points profit right there. Gorgeous. Contracts hit a high of $3.09 a contract. All right. 100 points out the gate, 5 minutes in. Can you guys give me some emojis if you like that trade? Even if you got wicked out, if you still liked the game plan, you can see how our game plan worked very clearly. Operating, I'll try to pull up the watch list. All right. 6 minutes into market open. We have this beautiful entry for our call trade to the upside. We wanted to base it on the break of 25,010 to the upside. Got a clean 100-point move. This is 6 minutes into market open. Gorgeous. You're in from this. There you go. Take that. If you're still in the trade, take this trim, 150 points profit. If you got in on this order block bounce that I was worried about, same thing. I would trim up here, 25,160. 150 points profit. That's where I would take that next trim. Right here is a great spot to really like just have a a YOLO position left behind, like one MNQ. This is a great spot for that. Targeting this aggressive level up here. I'm saying aggressive level because on my 4-hour chart, that screenshot I sent you guys yesterday, that's where that aggressive level is. This is where we rejected yesterday. Okay? That's why you're targeting that. So that would be the final thing. No, it's not that they're not following my trades. You have to understand some of these students, they're newer and they use ATM functions. I'm not a fan of an ATM function, but they use that ATM thing. And it places the hard stop loss at, let's say 15, 20 points. And if they get a bad fill because they waited too long and then it pulls back and stops them out and then it takes off and they don't have the conviction to get back in, there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do because they got stopped out in the blink of an eye and then the trade takes off. And to a newer trader, that's going to cause frustration. It's wishful thinking to think that you're going to be thinking so logically that you're going to be like, it's okay, get back in. The trade is reconfirming, get back in. It's really hard to process that. It's much easier said than done. So I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. I see where they're coming from. They're being good traders. They have a stop loss in place, but also like if you get a late fill, you get a late fill. And if you get a late fill and you believe in the move, like sadly, yeah, you probably need to adjust your stop loss. Gotten 2 payouts with my Apex account. So is it telling me that I can only have 4 more payouts and then they will close my account? Will the account close on its own? Do I just have to stop trading on this account? I'm super confused how this is going to work on the back end. I'm not really sure how that works exactly because that's so new. I definitely think that's worth an email to them. Because you got to remember, I just have the coupon code, guys. It's not like I directly work with them. So definitely worth an email because yes, I would be asking the same questions. I'd be like, does that mean my 6th payout, I should withdraw everything I can withdraw? Is that what that means? That's what I would assume. If I had $4,000 of money that I can withdraw by the 6th payout, just to be safe, I'm withdrawing all of it because I'm assuming they're going to close the account afterwards. So that's what I would do to be on the safe side. All right, it's coming up here to that 200 points. If you want to trim just a bit shy of this level, there's nothing wrong with that. Like right here, this is where I would sell it. If you got that last one MNQ, I would sell it right here because we might reject just a little bit prior. It might be a complete full reversal. It went a little bit above it yesterday. It got up to 217, but this is that area I'm very concerned about. Yep, I will refer you guys to the, there it is, 200 points. 200 points profit. This gentleman's question is, James, I bought 5 full-size units. I'm not really sure what that means. I'm assuming you meant contracts. James, I was trading with 5 full-size units. How do I trim? I right-click, and it says closed position, not partial. Can you give me some insight? Matthew, remember, this is that rejection area I'm concerned about from yesterday's previous day high. So, again, if you had the 1 MNQ, that's the spot where I would have sold the last guy. That's where I would have sold the last one. Even if you got in on the order block bounce, I don't really care where you entered. This is where we're concerned. It's a major pivot point. I want you to go into where it says tutorial setup videos in circle on the far left, tutorial setup videos. I want you to scroll down. You're going to scroll down to where it says Webull take profit stop loss review. If you are not trading on Webull and you're trading on Tradeovate, then I want you to scroll to how to use Apex Take Profit Trader, Tradeovate to trade futures. I have 2 videos in there. One's 11 minutes, one's 4 minutes long, going over how to do that. This was over $150. That's easy. If you're trading more than 5 MNQ, you should always be making more than $150. So if you're trading 10 MNQ, by the way, guys, if you're trading 10 MNQ, I would say on trades that go in excess of 60 points, because most of our trades do, in excess of 60 points, you should be making, more than $500. You should. Okay. If you're not, you might be scaling out too much too quickly. That might happen on some trades, but I'm saying for the majority of your trades, you should be giving it some room to breathe. Because remember, just one contract hitting 100 points, that's $200. So that means with the other 9 contracts, you just had to make $300. That's very doable. Very, very doable. Because I'll talk to some people that are like, I trade with 10M&Q, and I'm like, well, then why are your winning days $170? That doesn't make any sense. Because if I traded with 10M&Q and I just sold them all at 20 points, I'd make more money. So that doesn't make any sense. Good job, Chris. 7 for 7 following your trades, 13,000. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, good. Mark those levels. Mark those levels. Good job, Dylan. Good job. Mine was 195 on the contracts. Like I said, I didn't really see much drawdown, but right where I called it out, it was at 25,008, and it did. I mean, you just go watch the recording. It moved really fast. So that's why I was saying I can understand if you got a late fill. It's probably not your fault whatsoever. It's just how the market moves sometimes. But also, that's why I do everything I can and, type out the watch list, tell you the level I want to enter at, everything. Everything. All right. I would trim again now, next 4-hour key level. If you're in shorts, this is where I would trim again. That's 160 points. And then I would just shoot for, it should be 200. Oh, it's so close. I was going to say, I would shoot for 25,010. That's what I would shoot for next. 25,010 for the next, it looks like it's about to hit it already. Man, what a sell-off, huh? What do you guys think of that rejection? Pretty good read, right? With the full exit. We don't do full exits much in here. We don't do that much, by the way. That's why I'm making a big deal out of it. If you're wondering, I usually tell everybody to hold the trade as long as they can. Like normally I would be like, oh, that's 200 points. Let's go for 300, just like yesterday. But after seeing yesterday's reaction at my level, that level was already there. After seeing yesterday's reaction at that level, I told myself today, like, we get up there, we need to sell the whole thing. It's probably going to reverse. Trevor, you're very silly for making the decision, Trevor. I would stay far away from Top Step. Don't switch. Don't switch. Apex just made their rules so much better. Why are you switching when Apex's rules got fixed? They fixed a lot of the stuff they were doing really bad at. So what, like, why make the switch now? That doesn't make any sense. If you think, like, if you're struggling and you're like, oh, switching prop firms is going to help, it's not going to change. Oh, wow. Crayon brain. 2 Apex from Top Step. 50K. Most people get the 50K accounts. Nathaniel Wall, all of my live trades are on YouTube. I also post them here in the recording section. All right, there it is. 200 points. There you go. 200-point rejection. Nice. Pretty big day when you look at this. Caught the bottom and then caught the top of the market. Literally. Caught the bottom, caught the top. That's awesome. Really good trading day. I wish I would have gotten in the rejection, but oh well. Really trying to break my bad habit of chasing. You're not chasing. When I called it out, you would not have been chasing. As we tapped this and the candle was heavy green, I said, this is where you want to take that full exit. This is a major pivot point. It is more than likely going to reject. That would not have been chasing whatsoever. I would now target this next key level down here. That would be 238 points roughly. That's what I would target. Yes, the new rules only apply to new accounts. No, I did not. Anthony, no. Me personally, no. I'm a big, like I was telling that other student, I'm a big fan of being one and done. So if I can catch a good winning trade and I make some good money and I'm like, man, I am happy with this. I don't see my profit while I'm in a trade. So my net P&L is hidden from me while I'm in a trade because really good setups on the day. Um, Obviously, this bounce to this 4-hour level is definitely alarming because that's a textbook bounce. I'd say again, just pick a spot somewhere you're comfortable with the risk, somewhere in profit. Don't let it go all the way back. Don't let it go all the way back. That'd be silly. Pick somewhere in profit you're comfortable with based on the chart, and then just let it rock and roll. Let it do its thing. Okay. If you want to see the big money, you got to trust the trade. You got to trust it. If you're not willing to sit through some type of pullback, then you're not deserving of the big profit. Right? That's how it works. That's how it works. You got to risk some to make some. Okay. All right, everybody. Everyone stay blessed, stay safe. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Peace out, everybody.